So next up, we have two of our female friends who will talk to us also about their experiences throughout the year so far, what they've liked, what they've learned. Yeah, when they pick up.
Yeah, so this isn't awkward at all.
When you think people will pick up, but you're just like, what?
1 hour later.
Yeah, this you're gonna have to cut out for sure. This is why we put Shadrach first.
Yeah, responsible lad.
2 hours later.
Sorry, I need to go get my tea though.
You know it's recording, right?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Language. We're just waiting for Mumbo.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
What's up, Hazel? How are you?
I'm good, you?
Hello.
Hello.
Wait, can you see me on my?
Yes.
Your
Yeah,
darkness.
don't make that joke.
You know, all of this is going to go into the video, right?
Yeah, just hold on. Oh my
With
god.
Hazel doing whatever she's doing to her body, we are a bit concerned. Is everything
Yeah,
all
you
right?
can see.
Yeah.
Africans and technology, we don't click, bro.
Don't say
You know
that. You're giving us a bad rep. What the hell is
It's
happening?
true.
Can you guys call me back?
Just close my door. Why are you in the
Nah.
darkness, Mumba? And she's what?
Okay. Yeah. Some people cook, some people work with computers, you know what I mean?
I do both. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So rude,
Technology seems to be a problem to them. Don't put us all in the same bracket. Some chefs can do both, okay? Generalizing, we are not doing that. Guys, wait. Okay.
Wait, you're deciding. I'm literally just gonna ask you, so how are we doing this? Okay.
I guess we're doing it like this. Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we're gonna be talking about the good things that had happened this year. Due to the fact that everything we see is negative, we thought to lighten your day a bit with a few friendly reminders that life goes on and still positive things are happening. So we'll have 3 guests today. Yeah, let me call one of them. Oh, intro.
I was gonna be like, yo. Easy.
While we wait for him, how's your day, Bash?
Oh, my day is good, man. Just having some nice, lovely caramel tea. Not sponsored by Ketchup, obviously.
Yeah, please. Hi, Shadrach. How are you?
Hi, KK. I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm good.
Wagwan Bash.
Yeah, Wagwan Shadow. How are you?
I'm easy. How are you?
I'm good, man. What do you do? What he does?
What do you do?
Okay, so today we chose to have a couple of people on this video to talk about what you feel has been positive in 2020 so far. So, what are your views?
So it's me who's going first, right?
Of course.
Yes.
See, I thought you guys were hosting. You know, when someone is hosting something, then
You
you
want
go
us to
first.
give you an idea?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Bash can go first.
Okay, an idea of the best moment of 2020. Okay, for me, it'll probably be the moment my dad went to Azerbaijan, and he left me in the house for like a week and a half. So it was turn off season, bro.
Wow,
that's
the type of
personally
things you
my
find
moment.
great.
Yeah, solitude, bro. I find great solace in solitude. So
Okay. For me, it was moving to the US. I had wanted to do it for a while, so I guess that would be one of the peak things before things went left, of course, but it is still one of the things I think has been great in 2020. You, Shadra?
Okay, thanks for the examples. So 2020 has been full of ups and downs, but I think one of the ups for me was probably when I got to make some money when the year started. So that's always nice, securing the bag.
So that's
from Monday to
important.
Friday.
Monday to Friday thing, but we hustled through, and we did what needed to be done.
Still be stuck in that
Yeah.
store. That's good, man.
Anything else?
So on my front, I don't know. I have to say that good health is also a good thing, especially during these periods. And then also, I've not struggled for much, You can thank
As you clear your throat.
excuse me, guys. So you can thank your respective deity for not struggling for what you need. I don't know. I'm really grateful. I'm a homebody, so I'm grateful for the time to chill in the house and do absolutely nothing for a while, legally at least. So saving the world.
Saving the world one person at a time. That's true.
Yeah. What about you guys? Are you thankful about other things even during this lockdown, social distancing period?
I guess, yeah. I talk to my friends more than I did before. So, realistically, I guess it's brought some people closer. Shown you your real friends. Also, I just want to say there's no pressure to be there for your friends constantly, because there's also this misconception that if someone doesn't reply your message, then they're not a good friend. But yeah, I think it's also just, for me, I'm very grateful that this year I got closer to my friends.
That's wonderful.
I appreciate the pause that the world has gone into, even though for a lot of people in a lot of jobs it's a hindrance, but for me, like, the pause has allowed me to like reflect back like on things that I may need to now understand, and if the world was still going on right now, I'd have been left behind. So it's a sense of like, it's given me time to like put things together, know that this is what I want and this is how I'm going to achieve it. So yeah,
It's great.
that's my moment. Year.
What do you think that this time has taught you, though? Either with whoever. Go ahead.
It's easy. I don't know if Bash wants to go first.
So what have I learned, or what have I?
Yeah.
For one, it's that it's never a race. That you should never race with like individuals in life, because like where people were like before all this COVID thing is, you could think that they were the top of everything.
Yeah.
And then this happened, and then unfortunately they've had to now slide back to being like back to position one. So it lets you realize that sometimes in life, if you race with people, then you're always gonna lose.
Okay.
You're better off just like doing your own race, doing your own journey. Take your time. Each person has their own boom, so be patient on your boom,
And you, Shada?
So I think I've learned quite a few things. One of them, like you've mentioned, like, is appreciating my friends. I definitely talk to them a lot more often than I used
Yeah,
to. Even if it's just checking on each other, which I definitely do appreciate. It's important to check on each other during this time. Although, like you've said again, no pressure. Just because someone has not called you or replied your text, I don't know in how long, doesn't mean you excommunicate them. If everyone's going
exactly.
through something
Mhm.
different. Yeah. Um, it's also taught me to appreciate, you know, as much as we take it, I feel for granted the time with the family because you're just forced to be in the same enclosure. So if you
Yeah.
don't appreciate each other, really, you're gonna have a hard time about it. It's also made me realize my point of privilege because the way we were saying, as much as I'm appreciative for the lockdown and like I'm enjoying the time being home, it's definitely like a point of privilege I'm speaking from because there are a lot of people who this is not an ideal situation for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely have to realize that I'm privileged to an extent.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think those are a few things I've learned during this social distancing times.
Okay. Anything you would recommend to people during this period? You, Shadrach.
After
Bash has a lot to say usually. I don't have much to say, but directed to you.
It's all right. Afterwards, you can tell us as well what social distancing has taught you in the
Okay.
world
I
of
shall.
come. But I think during this period, just don't be so hard on yourself. It's so easy to get in your thoughts because of the amount of time or rather spare time we have.
Mm-hmm.
Because before, maybe you'd fill up your time with a lot of other things like going out to see people, but even that is not as simple as it is now. You know, stay home, stay safe. So I think just be easy on yourself. Don't get into your head. Don't start comparing where you are with others. You know, just be appreciative for what you have, for how far you've come, and how far you have to go. Really, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you've been raised
Um.
well. Answering your
Yeah.
sister.
Hey, I guess we should thank your parents for that because
Shout out mom and dad, man.
yeah. Um. What was the question I asked you? I've even forgot.
It
Wow.
was.
Memory
What has
loss.
social dance? What has social distancing taught you?
Yeah, and what would you recommend to others?
Um. It's taught me patience. Patience in the process. Realistically, we would rather be at home, right? But you just need patience for real because like I speak to people who are stuck here like me, and I get concerned because I'm like, maybe as I said, maybe it's just the way we're brought up. We have to be realistic about how the situation is going. But it's taught me patience. It's taught me to ensure that I'm okay first, and dealing with my own emotions. Because a lot of time people just sit and say, yeah, I'm okay, but you might just be
Mhm.
going through serious emotions. What else has it taught me? To talk to my friends more. That's yeah. I guess that's mostly it. And I talk to my parents way, way, way more than before. Which is like sometimes I'm just like, we need a break now. And we lived in the same house, but like I guess it's more honest conversations now. And I feel like that's something people should learn during this period because this is the only way you can communicate. So to end, I guess I would say have real conversations with yourself and with the people not necessarily around you, but in the realm of phone calls. Yeah.
You're not gonna tell the people about your painting, your Picasso skills, yeah?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Picasso.
Also, I gained new skills. Um, Bash had to expose me. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I've also learned to I think it's now to take things slowly, like go through the process. Because for a long time, I was just like, painting, you have to be very skilled to do it. But I guess through the process and showing my friends and showing my family and them saying, yeah, you've gotten better, it helps a lot. So, yeah, I think those are the things I would recommend. Get a hobby also. That's another thing people don't have, especially in Kenya, because they're so used to going to the club. So I would recommend get a hobby, try to do it to the best of your ability because this is the only time you have. Realistically, there are some people who don't take leave, right? And this is leave where you could gain a skill. So yeah, that's all I have.
As Apex. It's a good hobby.
We are not
Yeah, it's
sponsored
kind of
by
test.
Apex PS. Just putting it out there. But
He
yeah.
hasn't lied though. This is just, our opinion. Apex Legends. If you have a PS4, get on it. Add me at Shadow Ranks on my PSN, bro. Yeah, let's conquer some legends, man.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, Shadrach. We hope to have you on another video with us soon.
Thank you for having me on. It was all my pleasure. Yeah, of course. Anytime you guys need me, you have my number, right? Haha.
Yep.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye. Deuces.
So okay. The next part we have two of our friends joining us to talk about the same topics on their experiences that have to do with this year. It will be funny if they don't pick.
Yeah, I know. Again.
It will literally just be, by the way, we are canceling. Hi guys.
Hi.
Would you like to introduce yourselves? Hazel, you can start.
Hi, my name is Hazel.
Mhm.
Okay. Hi, my name is
So we had Shadrach before you guys talking about his favorite experiences of 2020. So we'd like to ask you guys the same questions. So Mambo, you can go first. What have been your favorite experiences or anything you've seen that you think has been good through, or rather so far this year?
I can say support, and like there's been a lot of support for me personally and a lot of people who I need. I could also say a lot of my friends were succeeding a lot this year, and that's always just like the best to see. And I got new motivation this year, be it was cancelled by, but like I think I had a good like track record of just like happiness. Reconnected with a friend or a couple, and just like good vibes, to be quite honest. Today, I mean, like for me personally, I've been having really good spirit lately.
Okay, Hazel.
Well, mine was before you left. Blankets. 2020 was lit. Oh my God. I feel like that was my highlight for
These are the guys
2020
for the
before this
Dunda we
whole
talk about.
really. Yeah, before you left, Blankets 2020. I feel like that was my highlight for 2020 before this whole coronavirus started. But then another thing that I've been doing a lot is walking. So I do that and it keeps me motivated, like it keeps me sane because this whole corona thing is a lot to deal with right now. And yeah, and I'm getting closer to God. Like I pray all the time. I never thought that would happen anytime soon. So yeah, like I worship. I have a worship. Like I worship for like an hour and then pray. Yeah, so it's been great. It's been keeping me sane now.
Okay.
That's dope for you to get in touch with your spirituality in your religion.
Thank you.
Okay.
So
And outside of your like personal or things that have affected you directly, is there anything else that you think that's happened that's really great during this year? any of you can go.
Yeah. I mean, it's been directly and indirectly, it's made people calm down. Like it's made people just take a beat and catch up with themselves. Because I feel like sometimes we're just moving so fast and we don't take the time that we need. And now you're forced to stay home. You're forced to reevaluate a lot of the things that you think are important and the things that you don't think are important, and what you pour your life into. Does it really matter? Does it not matter? I think a lot of people are just realizing that now, some companies are just really inconsiderate about that. And you staying at home realizing, actually, this was not for me. Let me start looking for something else that is for me. I think it's just very important, especially for, everyone. When you're forced to stay home, like there's really nothing else to do. Like you can't be, okay, I have to hustle now. You have to stay home and you have to figure you out, and you have to figure your surroundings out. I think a lot of people have also, like the way Hazel said, gotten in touch with God and with themselves. Alone time is really important for that.
Hazel.
I guess for me, it's like you get to see who your friends are right now, because like Kenyalin, she's so far, but we talk all the time. Like we try and keep each other sane. So I feel like for me, it's getting to realize who like your friends are, like the people who check up on you to find out if you're mentally okay, if you're just good, if family is okay, if support is okay. So for me, I've just gotten to see who my friends are, and yeah, basically that.
Wait, I have a question, and I said this even in the previous interview with Shadrach. Do you people think that it's a must people communicate with you during this period to prove that they're your friends?
No.
Okay.
For me personally, I'm one person who's poor in communication. So
Either way.
post-COVID, pre-COVID, during COVID, you ain't hearing from me.
That's understandable, but I'm asking that because I've seen on social media that a lot of people are justifying their types of friendships due to the fact that this person is looking for me, is checking on me, but I think also some people are just generally bored and it might not be genuine. That's also another concern that I have, because there's this idea that's being pushed. The only people who really care about you are checking on you, and I don't fully believe that's true. I understand the whole thing about seeing your friends, making sure they're okay, but there are also some people who are just prying. That's how I look at it. So
I think some people are going through their own things, so it's not fair for us to just you have to check in on me. Like, you have your own things going on.
True. Have you guys gained any new skills, any new hobbies?
Yep.
To be honest, no. No.
Yeah.
Like props to those guys who have gained new skills. Like, nah, me, not really.
I would say I've gained, but I've not perfected, but I've been more conscious about what it is that keeps me busy. Yeah. So what I used to do before and just be rushing out and be like, oh, I don't have time to do this. Now I legitimately have all the time in the world to do it. So it's been really nice. I mean, I've never, even during culinary school, I've never enjoyed baking, but now it's basically every day. I'm not reading as much. I don't know why that's not a thing. I used to read so much. Now I'm not, for whatever reason, but I'm catching up with series. And God knows how many series have been in production for the last 5 to 10 years that people have been wanting to catch up with. So there's that. And I've been
Because
reading
we
a
never
lot.
had the time to do that.
Yeah. And I've been reading a lot. So you guys already know that I bead for you guys. But yeah, and talking.
Basha's got a feeling.
Yeah.
Sorry, I made the girls anklets. I'll make you something.
Hey, why was I talking about the girls, bro?
Whoa.
Personally, he's talking about himself.
Okay, my dear, I'll make you something.
I don't know if you guys are feeling like we're closer than we were before. I don't know if you feel like that right now, all of us.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's because of this corona. Pardon?
like during last year, I think it's because of all the things we were doing together last year, really built
Yeah,
us.
I know, yeah,
so
but I feel like also this whole Corona thing has really put us together. I don't know. I don't know if you guys feel like that. So, like, because we talk all the time. I don't, you guys and your wine club, like, you guys are, like family, and some of us just books ourselves in there. So,
Someone called
yeah,
you
I don't know.
Konyagi Bay, so I guess
It's
it is what it
okay.
is.
It's fine.
Yeah.
even
Yeah,
my
so I don't know if you
Konyaki
guys
Bay, I'm
feel
like, that's trying it even.
like, yeah, like that. Hopefully it continues because I don't want it to stop ever until like it needs to continue. If this Corona thing is done, let's continue that whole friendship. Let's continue talking to each other. And yeah, I just feel like yeah, it's kept us very sane to talk to each other and not to go mad.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I don't, I don't know how you guys feel about that.
I mean,
True.
we do
Yeah.
talk more like I think like through phone, especially now.
Mhm.
Because if we're, to be honest, like if KK was around, we'd probably be at the house almost every weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
I,
and so the fact that we speak on phone now it becomes more like close
Hmm.
yeah.
because like when you're with a group of people in the house, there's different conversations happening. But when you're calling someone like constantly, then it's just like more private one-on-one calls.
And I think it's more
Yeah.
intentional.
Engaging.
You know, when we're
Yeah.
in groups, everybody has their own things they want to talk about, things they like. But when you're on calls, my friend, there's no way you're going to go to talk to somebody privately.
True.
Everything is in front of you at the time that you're having the conversation. So,
Yeah.
That's
um, another question, what would you recommend for people to do during this period from your experiences so far?
Pray. Like for me, it's worked.
Mhm.
Sorry if it feels if it feels weird, but yeah, for me, pray. Just pray.
Okay.
Like God to help you through this whole situation, and yeah,
And do you more?
yeah. I mean, I understand what Hazel was saying about prayer, but like I would also say keep the faith and just like work on your spirituality. I feel like for me personally, I was feeling so helpless, like a little while ago, about a month ago, I was feeling so helpless and like so hopeless. I really, and you know that moment where you know you're not the most religious person, you always feel like you're out of the loop,
Mhm.
like it's wrong. And I had to like have a deep dive inside and just be like, okay, I'm not, just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean it's for me. Number one.
Yeah, of course.
Two, I need to be strong for me first. Especially when you're not very sure of your faith, it's very good to be
yeah,
centered in yourself first. Believe in yourself first. I think it's taken me a while to just be like settle myself and just be like, okay, it's about time you start believing in yourself. Okay, it's about time you put the faith in you. And
Mhm.
then from there, find an easier path for you. So if you want to pray, then pray and just be like, I believe that for me, this is going to work. And if you just need to meditate, whatever you need to do to make yourself also just feel like you're important in a world that's making you feel unimportant right now. Like, you're being told, I mean, like, not that you're unimportant, but you're not necessary right now. you know
Mhm.
like your biggest help is being at home, which sometimes makes a lot of people feel
yeah.
very helpless and secluded and just crazy. So it's that, like, getting myself centered, getting yourself centered is so important.
Okay, Bash, anything to add?
Um, Not necessarily like apart from what we're talking with Shadrach,
Mhm.
but like when you brought up like what has like social distancing like taught a lot of us.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like I don't want it to make it like sound bad, but I feel like I was prepared for social distancing from a
Yeah.
young age. I was like I'm super antisocial for those who know me. So what it showed me is that a lot of people aren't used to the fact that they just have to stay by themselves. It means that people are afraid to self-reflect on like
Mhm.
who they are because now it's just you and your thoughts. There's no distractions, there's no nothing. So if you're afraid or you're not used to that, then that's a problem actually, because you
Yeah.
need to understand yourself, which is the most important thing.
I
We had
agree
a conversation
because,
yesterday
yeah,
with Kenya Lynn, and I was busy telling her how, oh my God, I don't think I can stay alone. Oh my God, this is too
Hazel is one
much.
of them.
I was like, this, I can't, I can't
Yeah.
do this. But yeah, it makes sense, Bash.
I think it's
Yeah.
also just because, for instance, if you're an only child, you've been conditioned for social distancing. Me, the way, that's why we even talked about it in the prior conversations. When I talk to people who are meant to go home, back to Kenya, a lot of the people who have siblings are more prone to being so concerned about the whole situation. And I think it's because you're so used to people, for lack of a better way to explain it, being in your business constantly. Your reactions are different. That's just the same way Hazel can say, me, I can't live alone. Me personally, I've lived alone so many times that it's just Kwanzaa now living with people. I'm just like, wow, people actually want to know what's going on in my life. Me, I live in my room and I move, you know? But I agree with what Bash is saying, because a lot of people are so afraid of their own emotions realistically. And what Mombo is saying is true. If you're not comfortable with yourself, then you'll be in
Yeah.
turmoil. It's not
True.
going to
Yeah.
get any better during this period. So I think one thing I would recommend is for people to learn who they are outside of their friend groups, outside of their jobs, to know who they are. Because a lot of people wear it like a shield. Oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
I'm this.
Mm-hmm.
Forgetting that you are a person before you got that occupation, right? So, one thing I would recommend is self reflection during this period. Realistic self-reflection, because also there's this problem of you want to self-reflect and place yourself in the same position as someone who maybe mentally knows who they are, you know.
True.
So I think it's important, be it through your faith, be it through playing Apex and then noticing, and yeah, this is maybe what I wanted to do, because you know we can sit here and say, oh yeah, I'm the greatest engineer, but people are making money gaming.
Yeah.
So you just have to figure out, and this is the correct time, I think personally, to figure out who you are, what you want to do. Of course, it's
Yeah.
unrealistic to have even a 30-day plan because we all live in countries where it's wild.
Yeah.
But to set realistic goals, because another thing I've noticed is there's this thing of saying this person's goals are unrealistic because, I mean, how can you do that in 5 years?
Mm.
So also reflecting your problems on somebody else. If someone says 5 years and it doesn't work in 5 years, that's their issue. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I've become grateful because I've sat back and I've thought, okay, this was your 5 year plan. Corona has already eaten nearly 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
In the next 6, what are you going to do to ensure either your plan is the same or you can maneuver it to fit what you want? So I guess self-reflection, guys,
Yeah.
is important.
This is
I don't
true.
know. I'm
Back
also
to
quite
mirror.
grateful for my parents right now
Mm-hmm.
because, man, some of us don't have jobs. Like, and they're here supporting us. They're here doing,
Yeah.
all these things for us. So I'm just
Yeah,
like, I am so grateful for them because they're still working hard to make sure that our lives are still, good.
they
They don't
don't
want us to
change. Yeah.
suffer. Yeah, it doesn't change, and they don't want us to suffer
We have
during
nice.
this whole, exactly, yeah, during this whole period. So yeah, I'm so grateful for my folks. Like, I might give them props because it's hard. It's really hard, especially during this time. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Do you think we stand from a position of privilege, though, that we can sit here and be grateful for those type of things?
Of
Yeah,
course.
of course.
There are
Yeah.
people's houses who are being demolished right now when you're supposed to be home. Like,
Yeah.
it's not
Mm-hmm.
that there are people sleeping on the streets. There are people who are sick in hospitals who are, like, it's so easy for them to get COVID and they didn't even have it when they went to hospital.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's ridiculous. Like, we
So
are
should you be
privileged.
grateful for your privilege? Is that what we're saying?
I mean, if you should,
I can't be ungrateful for
because
it.
yeah, I mean, if you're ungrateful for your privilege, that means you don't deserve it.
True. But
Yeah.
like, it's why I'm asking you that is because you were born into it. You know that statement where they say you didn't write a letter, right?
True. Yeah.
But why I'm asking is because how are we changing what we have to like assist someone in a certain way? And I don't necessarily mean financially, but like I think about it like this. If you are grateful for your mental health being okay, right? How are you helping your neighbor with theirs?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For me, I've always been into working for the community. So Rotary and Rotaract are working to feed people who cannot get food for themselves right now, sanitizer, get some water to them, anything that can help at this particular moment. One of our biggest like fundraisers and events for disabled children was differently abled children was in March. Was it March? I think it was March or beginning of April. And that's millions in the making of an event for all these kids in all these schools. And it was like the ban for public events was cancelled the day before this happened. So they just collected all the food they had and just drove around Nairobi and gave it to needy people and homes and what have you. So in that way, I think I am helping. But to be quite honest, I'm also not in much of a position to help. But just if anyone is, especially like mental health, we're realizing a lot of our friends are home with people who are abusive and are their triggers for a lot of the issues that they go through. Trying to just like talk to them and just be like, okay, if you want to go for a walk, like we can go for a social distance walk. I mean, like for a physically distance walk, you're there, I'm here, and we walk. We talk. If you need a video call, do you need me to send something over, like cookies, because I'm baking so much, things like that, and just like checking in as much as you can, especially with your friends that you know are in a fragile position right now.
I agree. I agree with what you're saying because I've come to a conclusion that we can't necessarily financially make a difference in people's lives because we are all unemployed thanks to COVID. But yeah, I think what I was trying to do when I was talking to Bash about it was to make sure we don't forget, right? That there are good experiences even during this period. So on that note, I'd like to thank you guys for joining us. Our video
You're welcome.
nearly passed. So yeah, thanks. Don't forget to like, subscribe. We'll share Mumbua's tag on YouTube so you can follow her her Instagram page. Sorry. And then you can ask her yourself for cookies because she said it on the
Yeah, please send me cookies.